Welcome to the anniversary of the My Blog Guest Hangout. So this is pretty special. This is our 13th, and we hit our 1-year birthday or anniversary, however you want to celebrate it. So you'll have to visualize all the balloons in the background and the confetti and party time. And welcome. And Anne, are you on the continental North America, or you're over in Ukraine right now?
Today I'm in Ukraine, so that's the best day in my life.
Excellent.
I'm far away. It's almost night here, and I don't feel like working. And I feel great anyway. I've been meaning to come here for a year, and it's so great being at home.
It's hard to believe that you've been gone from there that long. Like, time flies.
Yes, I know. That's hard to believe to me as well. It really is, because 1 year flew, and right now I feel like I've never left.
That's good that you're able to go visit. So are you like in the same place as Sana?
No. Yes, in the same country.
What was it at the Twitter chat? You said you were sitting next to each other tweeting?
Yeah, but then I came home.
That's true. You're not like Siamese twins or anything.
Yes, it's almost night here, and at this time of the day I should be home, because I'm getting my daughter to bed in a few minutes.
That makes sense.
In an hour right now. So I have to be home to be able to do that. That's not like sense. If I were in the United States, it would be just noon. So I could be in the office, but here I need to be home at this time.
You know, I think this was the same time last time we had a hangout. The Social Cafe Twitter chat, and you were in New York, but it was like the same time.
Yes, it was the same time, and it was also like 9 p.m. I guess, because I really wanted to get well to bed at that time. I remember that.
You did a marvelous job. Well, since we have you talking, do you want to give us an update of what's going on with My Blog Guest?
Sure. It won't be a huge one, because we haven't had too many new things added. We tried to explain to the publishers how to use our platform during the 4 Twitter chats that we had in this. By the way, it's August. I thought that the previous one was August. I'm sorry, Deb.
Oh, no problem. It's easy fix and just in time.
Yeah, so this time it's going to be in August Hangout. So during this month we had 4 Twitter chats, and we were testing our neighboring platform, which is Twitter chat client, and we are moving along with it pretty well. As for My Blogist, we had a few tests with usability and trying to move the new features to the homepage, testing those things. And the most important one was that we really wanted to explain to our publishers how to use the My Blogist platform properly, how to make those contributors come back, how to build connections with them, and how to really make the most, how to build community around the blog using My Blogist. I guess that was the hugest point we tried to focus on during this month, to show that we don't just go grab free content and leave. We should use My Blogist to build relationships and to get help from those contributors who will help you with promoting your blog and growing it. It's like building a team. I'm hoping that we had that point across.
Have you received? I think it's awesome, but I'm biased. But have you gotten pretty good feedback?
Yes, I was very excited with the feedback that we had on Twitter and Google Plus, and the comments we have. I think that people are really getting how to use My Blogist. We still have some both authors and publishers who really target really quick aims, and I'm hoping that we will be able to show that it's really worth trying to aim higher and not just get something for free links or free content and leave, but long-lasting relationships matter much more. And I'm hoping that more and more my bloggist members will grow up and start targeting the right objectives that we have, that we promote.
And that seems like a process.
It's a long
learn
process.
A little bit.
Yeah. It's the education, and unfortunately our industry is not really that ready for that. So it will be a hard, long process, which we have full energy to make it. So we'll do that.
Well, I think the the Twitter chats every Thursday, and then you have the summary, and they're very educational. They're not. I mean, they're social time too, but they're not just social. So, Sana, Ann, you did an awesome job on the Twitter chats, don't they, guys?
Yeah.
Getting the information out there, and so that people can actually be educated and have fun doing it at the same time. So anyone that hasn't come, you need to come on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight, whatever time it is in the East Coast of the U.S. and Canada. 11 that time. Sorry, Phil, you got to translate that one.
Don't worry about
Don,
it. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Don, you've been doing an incredible job in the G Plus community. How is that going?
Well, it's a lot of fun, and we're trying the new mastermind approach. I think that's working well. Getting some great information. The only regret I have is that more people aren't participating. I don't know how many people are listening and getting the information, but there's some valuable stuff that goes on there. So anyone that's not getting it is missing it.
You know what helped is when you actually, I should admit this, when you sent me an email like, are you coming back to respond? That was very helpful, Don, but I know you can't just go through and email thousands of people. Are you going to come and respond?
Well, actually, I do. I have, I try and follow people and especially my Blood Guest members, and I'll let them know. I'll let them know and get the word out. It's one of those things, Deb. There's so many places one can go and participate, and time is time. It's hard to find time. But again, I'm not sure, and I wish I had a feel for how many people are actually reading, visiting, versus how many people take the time to comment. Because I know there are more people that see what's going on than there are that actually comment or get involved in the conversation. But it's just that there's valuable stuff, it's valuable information. And that whole mastermind idea, I wasn't sure about using that word because it's almost a loaded word, or it's one that's really ambiguous. It can be understood in a number of different ways. But may I take a minute to tell you a little bit about that?
Go for it.
Is that okay? It's an interesting story because it comes from this guy, Napoleon Hill. And he wrote a really famous book back in the 30s called Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill, an incredible guy. He was an advisor to Presidents Franklin D. Roosevelt and also to Woodrow Wilson. His story is incredible. He was born not far from where I was born, Appalachia, back in the hills of the United States. In a little, matter of fact, the one-room cabin he was born in is just a few miles from the cabin where my father was born. And it's a place where, I lived the first part of my life in a little cabin, no running water, no electricity, kind of real modest, if you will, beginning. But, tell you the truth, I miss it. It's just a great life. But, so Napoleon Hill was born into poverty, ended up writing for some newspapers in the community, mountain newspapers, and then ended up interviewing a guy named Andrew Carnegie. And Andrew Carnegie sponsored many of the libraries in the United States, paid for them. He was one of the wealthiest, most influential men of the time. So Napoleon Hill interviewed him, and Carnegie had this idea, and this is important. He believed that the secret to success could be outlined in a really simple formula. But he couldn't seem to get that formula across by himself. So he asked Napoleon Hill if he would work with him to learn the formula and then present it to other people. And then Carnegie introduced Napoleon Hill to some of the greats of the time, introduced him to Henry Ford, Alexander Graham Bell, Thomas Edison, folks like that. So Hill interviewed these guys, interviewed Carnegie, and then wrote this Think and Grow Rich. And part of the philosophy of that is this idea of the mastermind. And what Hill said about it, thanks Gerald, what Hill said about it, and here's a quote from Think and Grow Rich. Hill said, "The mastermind is a coordination of knowledge and effort, and a spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose." It's a coordination of knowledge and effort, spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. So for the community, I have a definite purpose in mind for the community. And I'm hoping that other people can come together and have a definite purpose. And that simply is this: to learn more about how to do an excellent job at guest blogging. And that's what Ann just got through saying about what we're trying to do, is get people educated on how to get the most bang in BG. It's such a powerful set of tools and a powerful platform. And if someone can learn how to better utilize it, they can do amazing things with it. So I'm trying to augment in the community that idea of coming together for this definite purpose of learning more about guest blogging. And it just came to the idea, well, maybe this mastermind concept, inviting people in to share their knowledge, and then let's come together to share and talk, and everybody just pitch into their best tips, that maybe that can help us, along that line. So, that's my spiel on what we're doing with the mastermind idea.
Okay, all right, I'm going to stop at that point because it'll just get goofy, but the timing was a little off on there, but you get the idea. That is awesome. That is in such great alignment with my blog guest. And isn't this, okay, I'm not bragging about myself, I promise you, but such a great team. I mean, look at the passion, Don, that you have for the G Plus community. That is so cool.
Go ahead, Ann.
Yeah, I just wanted a quick note that everyone in our team was born from inside my bloggist. So everyone who was passionate with it and wanted to be part of it in a more, not just being the member, but being the moderator, everyone got that opportunity. And I guess that's how we build that passionate team of people who really love the place, because everyone was first the member and then they became the part of the team. Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Ann. That's a really good point, because it's one thing to get out and be paid perhaps to market something or to jump up and down on the corner with a sign saying "come here." But if you don't, if you're out in front of a restaurant advertising the restaurant, but you really don't eat there, then it's hard to have that passion. But you're right. I found out from working with my blog guest how valuable it could be, and as a writer, how it freed up my time to concentrate on writing. And then as a publisher, how it can bring in great content and save time. And there's that word again, time. It's all about saving time, getting the most done with the least time. I'm studying that so hard, watching Ann so much for that, because she gets more done, I swear, than anyone I've ever seen. It seems like she's just on top of everything, and I can't figure out how in the world she does it.
And she's a wife and mother.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of G+, we have some My Blog guest users with us today that have been very active in the G+ community. Don, would you like to introduce some of them?
Well, let's see. Who are we looking at down here? I see Sana. I see. Oh, there's Belinda. Hi, Belinda. And there's Alex Young. I see Alex there now. And let's see, I think those are the 2 members on board who, am I missing anyone, Deb?
Also, Michael's involved too. I know
There's
he posts
Michael.
on...
You know, I don't see, Michael comes in on Fridays, and I wish you would come in during the week. Michael, join us, buddy. Pitch in during the week. Fridays are great, but there's so much more that goes on.
Okay.
I'm enjoying this, Don, that you're putting people on the spot instead of me. See how...
Oh, we all got to pitch in, Deb, you know,
Yeah.
do what we can.
I want to make sure Phil doesn't have anything to pick on me for putting people on the spot.
Shall we get some feedback from our members? I love that when we do that in the Hangouts and get them involved. Belinda says no.
Okay, we won't pick on Belinda. Alex, did you want to say something?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Alex.
Hi. It's nice to meet you guys finally. I want to say happy guest hangout, and I want to wish everybody a early happy Labor Day. And I just wanted to say that I'm really happy with getting email alerts from my blog guests whenever something comes in that's a new topic. It says in the subject line, new topic, and that's really helpful to me. And if something's a new article, the subject line says new article. So I like that a lot. It's really helpful.
Excellent. And
All right.
Alex, you had a question on, was it the articles given to me section?
Oh, yeah. I had never seen that before. And so I was just wondering if I could use it to, well, I guess you explained it to me as it's more for publishers. If they get, if they make an offer and the offer is accepted, then somehow it turns into a usable document for them. If they click on that tab, then it's like an HTML file for them, something easier for them. So my question was, is there any benefit for an author to submit something to the gallery, something sort of technically advantageous? I know, Don, you had mentioned that it's better in terms of more eyeballs, more publishers get to see the article that I submitted, but thanks for that. I didn't think about that, but that's a good point. But I just wanted to know if there's any sort of technical advantage for an author to submit something to the gallery.
Sana, do you want to? Oh, sorry, Don. I was trying to get Sana on the spot.
Yeah, let Sana hop in there. I could talk about that for a long time. There's plenty of advantage, Alex. Plenty of advantage. Go ahead, Sana. It's good to see you.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to see you all also. Well, I'm happy to be with you today for a number of reasons. Well, first of all, it's our anniversary hangout. We just realized it yesterday.
Right.
And it's amazing how the time flies and how many features we invented during the last year. I guess I'm one of a few members of our team who was not a member before becoming the moderator. But I love my bloggers from the first day I'm here. For the last 2 years, the number of our members grow 4 times, I guess. So it's really amazing, and I also love that all of us, all of our team, does the best job to give more and more every month and even every week. So that's what really inspires and gives strength to work even without weekends, enjoying it. So it's really great, and thank you all.
Oh, excellent. If I had the clapper up right now, I'd do that.
No need of this.
Hey, Don, you started to say something a moment ago?
Yeah, concerning, there's a couple of things about Alex's question. One, as a writer, getting your articles up in the gallery, whether the general gallery or the elite gallery, there's a big advantage because, for me as a writer, I get an article in there, and it's going to work for me. There's people viewing those galleries looking for articles. And if mine's there, it'll get seen, and I can start collecting offers on it. When I first started with my podcast, I was working as a corporate copywriter, and my job was to do both writing the articles and getting them published. And when I found about my blog guest, I thought I was in heaven because half my job you guys were doing for me. I'd put the articles up, and the platform would take care of it. And not only that, Alex, but once an article's accepted, then my blog guest is going to track it. They're going to make sure that your links stay good. You're going to get a report that comes in. I believe it's monthly, that comes in to tell you what's going on with your articles. Are they still good? You're going to, if you ever have trouble, and I ran into a couple times when I had troubles. Maybe someone accepted an article and then sat on it for too long and didn't publish it. So I'd let Ann or the admins know, and they'd get right on them. I mean, these guys go to work for you, So it's just tremendous stuff. And then of course, with the elite gallery, our hope is that publishers. Well, it's like if you're a magazine publisher. You get all the time, you get all kinds of manuscripts and ideas and offers. So the editors have what's called a slush pile. And that's a huge pile sitting on their desk of stuff they haven't got to yet. Well, the idea at the Elite Gallery is it pulls your stuff right out of the slush pile and gets it right in front of publishers. So that's a step up as well. And of course, as the editor in the Elite Gallery, I'm always rah-rah on it, but it's another good way to go. But this is what I really like to say to you publishers out there. Now is an excellent time to get active. It's like the real estate market, okay? It goes from being a buyer's market to a seller's market. Well, right now, it's really a publisher's market. There's great articles available, but the competition level is such that you can get in and get some excellent stuff. And I don't know how to put that except that the reality is there's great articles available and they're free. And and we check them to make sure that Ann and the team are doing a great job of making sure the links aren't hokey, that the content is decent. I mean, my blog guest does so much of the work for writers and publishers that is just, it's a marvelous thing. If you're not using it, I don't know why. That's my spiel on it.
Excellent. Hey, speaking of quality, Phil, I'm curious, have you seen more of the articles that you're pinning? I know sometimes you said that since you have your certain quality standards, and by the way, pinning articles, and this is the novice saying this, so you see that little flame. We're not talking Pinterest on this one. We're talking about making that article go to the top. Did I describe that somewhat accurately?
By the way, our pin button was earlier than Pinterest became popular, so I wish I knew Pinterest was going to make it. I would call it something differently, but.
So you actually had the term pinning the article even before Pinterest came on.
I think Pinterest already existed because it's been around for like 7 years, and so it just became popular a year or two ago. But it had been around before that, but I wasn't aware of that. So I cannot say that I invented pin as the pin, but I didn't steal it. I swear.
Well, I was definitely, even when I started, Pinterest wasn't quite as big, and you had the pin. I didn't know what that flame was for a while. It's like, why is that article on fire? But it makes sense now. Did I hear Phil, or am I just wishing?
I think you heard me. Did you hear me?
Oh, I did.
I've got myself unmuted now. Am I the right volume?
You could be a little louder, I think. You're like in a dream state. Like I feel like I'm just hearing Phil far, far off.
Okay. You were asking about pinning articles. We're not pinning very many at the moment because we are spending most of our time with the articles under review, where we're having we're having to send a lot of articles back because they don't have appropriate links usually. We'll get on top of it and we'll get back to the same amount of pinning that we did have, but it is down a bit at the moment, and the suggesting as well, because we have to turn over the articles in the review gallery within 24 hours. So that's the first priority every time.
Now, is part of that because of SEO changes as far as the linking, and so it's causing a little bit slower process, not slower processing on your end as a team, but as far as the changes within the writing style?
I think Don phrased it, there's a lot of pushback from the community, people who have committed to writing with certain links and who are not happy about having to change them to accommodate the new rules. But we are getting through to most people. It's just taking a lot of time.
Well, that's good. Hopefully I'm hearing you say that's progress. It might be a process and a little slow, but it's progress.
It is.
That's good. Thank you, Phil.
Okay.
And Michael, you said, let's see, you said, Don, there is no such thing as a free lunch. Okay, guys, I'd love to hear this conversation.
Well, Don mentioned that the articles are free. They are not necessarily free. There is some work that has to be done after them. There is nothing free in life.
Nothing free in life. I agree absolutely. I think the thing is, publishers are never expected to pay for an article. As a publisher, here's a tip for writers as well. Always think like a publisher, and when you're putting your articles together, try and do as much work as you can for that publisher. Make sure you're using your HT/H3 markup for your subheads. Make sure that you've gone through your code and cleaned it up. Go ahead and embed your photos. It'd be great to pull down an article that's ready to go. That's not true as a publisher. You still have to pull it down and set it up some. And of course, I'm not sure, Michael, exactly what you mean, but on the writer's end, I can tell you for certain there's no such thing as a free article, because it takes a lot of sweat, blood, work, research. It takes an incredible amount of effort to put together a decent article.
And Michael, it sounds like you're saying something similar as far as the publisher and a lot of work on the publisher end as well. Is that what you're referring to?
That's right.
Now, Michael, have you had a chance to try the new, the verified author?
No, what is that?
Okay, that one I do have to turn over to one of you to explain as far as the Google.
Sana's on it.
Do you want me to say a few words about the verified authors? Yes?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's a newly added feature. Well, maybe not so newly. I guess we added it last month. That's a big step for personalization of guest posts. So these Google verified, these links to Google Plus profiles show the real person behind this article. We've always supported this at my blog guest, and now we encourage our authors to verify their authorship. That's like a basis for the future relations between the author and the publisher. Also, yeah.
Is it something that's done by software, or it's a human that verifies this?
It's all authors are verified manually. We check every profile before verifying, because there might be some issues or mistakes.
But is it done by a human or by some software that does that?
It's done by me.
Yeah,
And she's definitely a human.
I'm human, I promise.
Okay, so what are the criteria to verify an author? Just having a Google Plus profile, the Google Plus profile can be blank, can be empty. So what are the criteria to verify an author?
We follow exactly Google verification process. We haven't invented it. We don't change it because we don't have the reason to change what Google is teaching us to do. So what we do is we make sure that there is a full name for the author, and the author links to the personal Google Plus profile. Google Pages don't work there. And there is a photo, the headshot of that person, both for the Google Plus and for the G avatar. That's the email that makes sure there is a photo next to the article when the contributor account is created. The rest of the verification is up to the publisher, because now they suddenly have additional information, and if they don't think that the author looks natural, and if the publisher doesn't think that there is the Google Plus profile is too bland or something like that, then they can pass on it. So we don't have that responsibility to judge if the author is real or not. We give enough information to the publisher to make those decisions on their own. So we make sure there is the process, it's the correct one, it's what Google wants us to do. So we follow those steps. And of course, there is always a word from the blog owner who can always check the Google Plus account. Now you will see those links right in the article. Even before making an offer, you can just click to the link, to the Google Plus link, and see what that person does, how complete the Google Plus profile is, and stuff like that. So of course there is always levels of quality control that should be done by the publisher. We cannot please everyone. Some publishers have lower requirements. Some publishers have very high requirements, which we really encourage to have, because that's the quality of the blog. But it's still up to the publisher, because that's their blog, so we cannot enforce any additional verification processes apart from what Google asks us to do. But I do manually check that all those details are correct, that the full name is there, that full name is the same as Google Plus profile, that's personal Google Plus profile, not a business page, and there is a headshot photo attached to the G avatar email address. That's pretty much what I'm checking for every verified author.
And would you say that the people that tend to, because the author actually has to go through the step to say, hey, Anne, I want you to check to see that I've done this correctly, and to verify the authorship according to Google standards. Would you find that the people that actually go through that step probably are closer to what Michael has described even in past Hangouts, as far as looking for that relationship with the guest author, with the columnist, so to speak? Would you find that they are more likely the type that would be looking for like a regular gig on a particular blog?
Yes, absolutely, because the point is that they no more can have very many articles under many names. The moment you verify your authorship, we will automatically add their full name to each article they publish to the gallery. And for that, every publisher that has an approved offer for any of the verified articles will get additional details and will be encouraged to create the WordPress account for that author. And that's how you tie the author to the blog, because now they will have the account and they can contribute more. And I guess I already mentioned that tip, and we also mentioned it during the Google Hangouts, is that you can, Twitter chats, is that you can actually add to friends all of your favorite authors, and you will be notified every time they publish any article to the gallery, and so you can go and make more offers for your favorite authors, and this way you will invite them back. So you don't have to make offers to the authors who didn't perform well on your blog. For example, they didn't reply to the comments, or they were not really active sharing their article on your blog. So just pick those that did a great job, add them to friends, and keep inviting them back to the blog. All publishers need to understand that their blog is not the only one on the internet. So unless you invite people back, they might forget about you, and they might just, the thought to contribute again could never cross their minds. So if you keep building those relationships, inviting them back every time they have a new article, helping them to share those articles and giving them more benefits to contribute to your blog, that's how those relationships really grow.
So in Michael's case, let's say he finds a verified author, and Michael, you find my blog guest author that is just wonderful. You'd love for them to contribute 2 to 4 posts per month, and they say, yeah, we're all in for that and everything, and it's a great relationship, but somehow people get busy, they forget, whatever. By subscribing, getting notification whenever that author writes something that's available in the gallery, then you don't have to go through the extra steps of contacting them by email or whatever. You can actually cut out a bunch of steps and just go right to that article and say, hey, I'd like this article on my blog, this fits. And say, oh yeah, I remember, now I wanted to actually post some more guest posts. So I mean, it seems like it makes it a more efficient process to have that relationship with the regular guest author.
Yes, that's exactly. I used to be the editor-in-chief for Search Engine Journal, and we had like 5 contributors, 3 guest contributors a week, and we had, most of them were returning, so they were willing to contribute monthly. But it never happened unless I emailed each and every of them. So even though that's a huge opportunity to any social or search expert to contribute to a huge blog like that, they still never remembered to do that, especially if it needed to be on time. So I know that's from personal experience that even with huge publications, you still need to ping, to remind, to reinvite, to follow up. So it's natural because people are busy, and those are free contributions. So you cannot expect people to make it their free job to just go and remember about you every single month. And I was okay with that. I understood that because I was busy as well. So what I did was I had an Excel of all those authors, and every single week I had a special day for that. I just went through those lists and emailed everyone personally, invited them, gave some tips on what they could write about, how to make it better, what they should do, and that's how they kept contributing every month. That's what I did. And with my bloggist, it could be easier because we have all those follow-up reminders and friend lists where you can just have it automatically remind you to follow up with your contributors and invite them back.
That's fascinating.
Yes, and at the same time, my bloggist platform will do its job as well, because we do copyscape, we do manual editing if you use article requests, for example. So all those additional benefits from having my bloggist as the in-between of those relationships. You can go directly. We always encourage people to just go ahead and contribute directly to the blogs after they build those relationships using my bloggist. But I just think it makes more sense to use my bloggist because we have all those additional free features, like each article goes through copyscape, so it's a good benefit. Each article we encourage images, we have our own standards, and we have manual reviews of most of articles that are in the gallery. So all those features, you are free to use them, or just go directly with the author. It's up to you, but don't expect them to remember about you. Keep inviting.
So it sounds like your experience as managing editor of a search engine journal is kind of the basis of where you were able to create your wish list, and then out of that develop the My Blog Guest platform.
Yes, most of the features of my blog is, they say that the best product is the one you use yourself. And I've been using my blog as I've been its most active user for ages. And I'm not just adding features because I don't know, I don't have better things to do. I add features because I know they are needed from experience.
So if we're talking about established relationship with Blogger, let me tell you about something that happened to us recently that I have hard time understanding the logic. Maybe you guys can explain it. We established a relationship with a guest blogger from Australia, which initially I believe it came through my blog guest, and the guy agreed to send us a blog once a month. So for about 5 months, we got the blog every month. Sometimes he was asked, what do you think I should write about? And we gave them some tips and back and forth and very good articles. After 5 months, he sent us an email and say, by the way, I don't want to write anymore under the same bio and same name. I'm writing now with the name of somebody that represents a business in the UK. Can I continue to write but use his name and his bio? Now, we promote our guest blogger. We include their bio. We have a page. Here's our team of bloggers. We make sure that they have the Google authorship, so they get all the credits on the article. Why would somebody decide, I want to write on somebody else's name and somebody else's bio? Can somebody explain this?
I don't think that person is really very smart because I mean, I'm sorry for sounding like that. I had a few cases in my life that were very similar, but I think that your contributor didn't handle it really smartly, because what I would have done if I were him, I would just say, you know what, I don't have time now, but I have that partner from UK who could contribute for you, and I swear that the quality will be the same, but please keep my old account, because if I have time, I will return and contribute more. I guess that's how.
Oh, no, it's the same. It's the same guy that sent us the blog article. It's just want us to publish it under a different name.
That's why I'm saying he's not really smart, because he didn't put it the way that would be logical. even I can understand. I guess that he was. I mean,
so basically, we have two profiles. Yeah, we have two profiles for two authors. So it's like a split personality. Yeah.
No, why split personality? I mean, people from I'm right now. I'm in a huge team, and let's say I work in the United States for Ninjas, and let's say we have a sport to contribute for search engine journal, and none of us can handle a monthly column. So how I would handle that? I would say, okay, let's just have a few contributors, but from the same team, and each of them will contribute monthly, but we will switch. I guess that's the natural thing that could happen to anyone. I don't have time to contribute monthly, but I would love our team to keep contributing using the account. But of course, I would ask for personal accounts for each one. So I guess in a word, just to answer your initial question, I don't think that guy is really knows what he's doing. I'm sorry that we had met such a person. That's what that's my main point. I don't think that he handled it really the way that he should have.
A woman would have handled it like Anne just suggested. So the moral is only have female guest bloggers. were less open than the one that Michael had. Is that any better? Yeah, that's too loud now. Yeah.
No, that's good. I actually heard you. Maybe I just need my ears checked. That could be too.
Just a badly placed mic. Right, beg your pardon. Carry on.
Oh, we're enjoying listening to you.
Well, you want to listen to me? Why?
I'm so used to, that a year ago, that we were, I think, trying to pick every single thought that you had.
It was just me and you, wasn't it?
It was. It was like, okay, what can we talk about that we didn't talk about last month?
And now we've got a whole party here.
Okay. So, Gerald, what's new with Viral Content Buzz? I could ask you too, Anne, but I decided to put Gerald on the spot.
There's a couple of new things. There's always new things going on. But most recently, we added a Google Plus button in the dashboard. Unfortunately, that doesn't. There's still issues with the Google Plus API, so it's not something that will earn credits, but there's such a demand for Google Plus, and so we decided to just go ahead and add that for now. So that is my camera a little bit blurry? So we decided to go ahead and add that so that when people are going through earning their credits, if they like something enough, they can go ahead and still share it on Google Plus. So that's the best we can do right now until Google changes their API a little bit. Other than that, we've made so many changes. And I don't really think there's been any other really recent changes. Usually what happens is me and Ann will be talking about a change, and a week later I'll notice the developers implemented it. But I don't think there should. Ann, has there been anything significant other than the Google Plus button that we're missing? I know we've got some things that we're working on internally. Some, I guess you'd say, some issues. Not issues really, but we have some things in the plans that we're working on. Let's put it that way, that we haven't launched and implemented yet. As far as, Ann, has there been anything else significant recently other than the Google Plus button that I've missed? I think we've mentioned on the last Hangout some of the main things.
There is one thing that we've added as well. Now you are credited back. Remember, if your project spans like 10 credits, I guess, it gets 1 credit back for that one. And then so essentially what we've done is that now if your project is very well shared, you will earn some of the credits back, because we want to reward actively shared projects. Because if people share something, that must mean that that's a good article if they are active at sharing something. So we give some credits back to say thanks for submitting such a good article to Viral Content Buzz.
Right. Now, I remember us talking about that. That was actually based on a user suggestion, which a lot of our, I'd say, really the majority of our updates are based on user feedback. But I just wanted some clarification. That's an example of one of those things that me and Ann are talking about one day, and then I noticed, a week later it's implemented. Like, bam, our developers are pretty quick. So Ann, is that because I get those emails too? I use Viral Content Buzz every day, just like a normal user. So I get those emails that say, congratulations, you spent 10 credits and you earned 1 credit, so your content must be awesome. So is that a one-time shebang type deal, or is that something where those credits, like every time they spend credits, they'll get 1 credit, or how do we implement that?
First 10 credits, and then each 5 credits you spend. But I don't think there is an email after that.
Okay.
So there is only one email, and I'm sure that email, that initial email, has those numbers. I don't remember them right away, but it does mention that from now on you will get credits back every 5 credits. I guess that's how it's put there, but we'll have to double check.
All right. Yeah. So the first 10 credits that are spent, we send out the congratulations email. They get a credit, and every 5 credits after that, they earn a credit. Correct?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Yeah, that's.
Let me check. I will just.
Yeah, and like I said, that was a suggestion that came from one of our users a while back, and we thought it was a really unique and cool idea. And basically, the thought behind that is, we want people to be submitting, really quality stuff that people want to share. And so that's kind of a way to reward people, to say, all right, look, you should submit some good content that people want to share, and once they actually start sharing it, we're going to reward you for submitting quality. So that's pretty much the concept.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is that we want to reward good content in any way, not just shares that it's getting, but also with credits that they can spend to get those projects shared even more. So we are not only interested in social media profiles. Our project is really content-based, very, very content-focused, and we want to reward the good content that people are sharing using our project in more ways. So I guess we'll have more ideas like that, and we'll keep experimenting, but we want the viral content buzz to be really about highest quality content, and we want to reward that content in any ways that we can think of.
And that's really been our focus from the beginning, is our unique selling proposition, if you will, is similar to the same ideology behind my blog guest. Its focus is quality. Before we started viral content buzz, that was the primary issue with most of the other social sharing content type sites, is a lot of low quality content. So we wanted to do the exact opposite of that, and so everything that we're implementing is pretty much geared towards that concept of quality.
And that's really good for the publishers and the community builders, so they have that level of confidence. Like, I have some communities and I think, I want to share something. What should I share today? I can go to Viral Content Buzz and be assured that that's quality articles that I can share back to my community.
Right. And we're just going to continue to do stuff like this. There were some other things that Ann mentioned on the last Hangout. I don't know. There may be some new people here that weren't here the last time. So another cool feature is, sometimes you're going through a certain category you might like to share. So you like to share technology because you blog about technology, or let's say SEO and social is your thing. And some people say, hey, you know what? Quality is somewhat subjective. Sometimes it's in the eye of the beholder. So, sometimes moderators will approve something that users might not like. And we want the users to only share what they like. But we've implemented a way. So, if you're in a category of technology or what have you, and there's the same article you don't want to share, and it keeps popping up, well, there's an option to hide that. So, first of all, if you think something really shouldn't be in the platform, like if you really think it's low quality, there's always the option to report as low quality, and if enough reports come in, then that will get the attention of the moderators, and we'll take out low quality content. But beyond that, you can simply hide that. So you won't keep seeing the same article every time you go back to the technology section. You're like, oh, there's that same article again. There's an option to just hide that from your view. So
Excellent.
that, I think, was a really, Ann did mention that one last time, but that's still a fairly recent update that I think is really cool because it's good for the user. And you're going in there and you're drinking your coffee or whatever, and you're spending your 5 minutes, and you want to, you might have 5 or 10 minutes. You want to get some quick shares. That's going to make it much more efficient for the user that's trying to find stuff that they really want to share.
That is really helpful. Thanks, Gerald and Ann, for the VCB update. And before we go, we got to say happy birthday to the My Blog Guest Hangout. And I got to put a party hat on if I can find it. There we go. And we are so thrilled to be here, and let's go for another year of the My Blog Guest Hangout, and thank you so much, all of you, for joining us for the August 2013 My Blog Guest Hangout.
Thank you. Thank you.